Today we are making this roast chicken. The last roast chicken recipe I made had about 100k views, which is actually big for me. YouTube page is not that big, but it's a great thing that a recipe was appreciated by everyone. Perfect for Christmas, and I'm telling you guys, you're gonna be in love. It's a super easy recipe. Just takes a little more time. थोड़ा सा prep work है, but just follow the recipe to the T. Trust me, the results will shock you, shock everyone that is eating. Not in a bad way, shock like मर नहीं जाएंगे, खुश हो जाएंगे. They'll be amazed by this recipe. The flavor that this chicken has is truly incredible. You've never tasted anything like it. और बकवास नहीं करूँगा because if I keep talking, it will be Christmas. So let's start the recipe.
Okay, this is going to be a 2-day process, but every step is absolutely essential. So please pay attention. This is a whole chicken. I washed it really well. It's with the skin on. Only thing I'm going to trim off from this is the neck. Just going to cut it, and no need to throw it. You can just roast it along with the chicken. Some people really like the neck, so save that piece.
So this chicken is about 1.2 to 1.4 kilos in weight. And it is chicken with the skin. Ideally, I would always roast a chicken with the skin on. क्योंकि skin जो करता है ना वो direct heat, it doesn't hit the flesh directly. तो chicken breast जो है कभी कभार dry हो जाता है. The skin actually just protects this and becomes really nice and crispy after you roast it. I highly recommend, even if you don't like the skin on the chicken, roast it with the skin. You can easily just take it off after you're done roasting. But if you're absolutely a person who is like, I do not like the skin at all, get the chicken without the skin. Make sure the weight is always about 1.1 to 1.5 kilos. Don't go bigger than that. And then just keep following the steps. That is 2 cents of mine from what I understand from years of roasting chicken. Get the skin on always works better.
So in the first step, what we're going to do is prepare the brine for this. It's basically sweet, salty liquid that we're just going to soak the entire chicken in. And it's really simple to make. We got some spices which you're going to crush, some oranges, some lemon, crushed garlic, rosemary and parsley, a whole lot of salt, water, sugar and some apple cider vinegar. Make sure you have a container big enough where you can prepare the brine and soak the chicken as well. So take a nice big dabba. All the ingredients for the brine are mentioned in the description, so please check it out. But make sure you taste it, make sure there's enough salt and flavor before you add the chicken to it. Once you're happy with it, just add the chicken, put a little weight on top of it, ढक्कन लगा के just put it into the fridge. Ideally you want this overnight, but minimum 4 to 5 hours.
It's been 24 hours. If you don't believe me, look, I've changed my shirt as well. But yeah, this has been in the fridge that long. I could have easily just roasted the chicken yesterday itself, told you that it's primed for 24 hours, but I'm going to eat this. I'm going to enjoy this. So I'm going to give it that much respect. Before we take this, now you're wondering what to do with the brine. You can actually go for one more batch of chicken if you want in this. But besides that, it goes down the drain and garbage. Its job is done. Its job is just to get into the chicken, make it really nice and succulent and juicy. And उसका काम ही यही है. But you can go for one more batch of chicken if you want, but not more than that. Vegetables, you can use whatever you feel like. I've done a mix of root vegetables, and it doesn't matter what vegetables you want to add. You want to just do potatoes, you can just do potatoes. But I've done a mix. So we've got some bell peppers, which I'm cutting over here. There is also some zucchini. We got radish. Season May, and once this caramelizes and gets roasted, and then some herbs and spices. I'm also adding potatoes actually, but I'm adding some baby potatoes because they're going to slowly cook along with that chicken. Keep that in mind. If you're feeling too lazy to do this, just bribe someone at home and get it done.
So now I leave what kind of veggies you want completely up to you. Just make sure you season it well. Make sure there's a lot of flavor, a lot of herbs in this. Also remember that the chicken is going to actually sit and roast on top of the vegetables eventually. So a lot of the drippings from the bird are going to flavor the vegetables. Next step is the marination. We're going to keep it really simple. Just some butter, rosemary, crushed black pepper, a little bit of chili powder, zest of 1 lemon, some salt, and that's about it. We also need some parsley and lemon to just stuff inside the chicken, and it will just slowly release a lot of flavor into the chicken as well. Okay, equipment for roasting. We need a nice deep roasting pan, and then we need this roasting grill on top of it where the chicken will actually sit and roast slowly. You don't want the chicken to actually sit on a flat tray. You want it slightly raised so that the airflow in the oven will help evenly cook the chicken and make it nice and golden. Next, what you'll require is basically a strong string to basically truss or tie the chicken.
Try to find something that is strong. This is made out of jute. You get those white thick threads also, that will work. Something that is strong and enough when you tie someone they will stay tight. Don't go and take that nylon ka string which you hang clothes on and tie the chicken. It will melt in the oven. Okay, so just informing.
Okay, now I've taken the chicken out of the brine and it's ready for the marination. Make sure to pat the chicken dry before you start applying the marination. And also remember, more marination inside the chicken between the skins than on the outside. Because bahar se ye gir hi jayega, so it doesn't really matter. So you want more of the marination, more of the butter inside the chicken and between the skins. Also into the bird we added the parsley and the lemon. And finally we're going to start trussing the chicken. I've got the middle portion of the string over here. I'm going to wrap it around one leg, about 2 loops, and the other end I'm just going to wrap it around the other leg. Crisscross it and pull and let this go under the chicken breast. We cross it on the back, pull it up in the front and pull it up from the sides and tie a knot in the front as you can see. Make sure it is tied really nice and tight, and as you can see we just went around the back, then went around the sides and tied it over here, and no rope is actually on the top of the chicken. If you're comfortable tying it this way, please go ahead, or else just figure out a way to tie it really nice and tight, because if you don't tie it and you put it to roast, the bird might just open up in the oven with a nice hi-fi sign. You don't want that. You want the bird to sit nice and tight in the oven. And finally, it's time for roasting.
So finally, after all that effort, this is ready. I'm going to put this in the fridge for about 1 hour. And after 1 hour, I'm going to put this in the oven. We're going to bake this twice. First, we're going to bake at low temperature, 120 to 125 degrees Celsius for 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes. In that low temperature and long cooking process, the chicken will just cook through and through. It will cook completely inside. Its internal temperature at that point will be around somewhere around 75 to 85 degrees, which is perfect. The chicken has cooked perfectly. And once we've done that, we're just going to get it out, brush it again with that butter mixture that we had. And then this goes back into the oven at high temperature for a shorter duration, just to color and just to get golden brown. And in that second step, we're also going to roast the vegetables which I made at the bottom over here. The drippings are going to make it beautiful. So let's get started. Also, this oven is too small for this, so it's going in my big oven.
So now this is doing the first roast, which is at low temperature. Please don't judge the inside of the oven. I apologize, it's really old. Those stains just don't want to go now. It took me about 2 hours. The first roasting I actually did for 1 hour 30 minutes. And within that time, you can see that the chicken has cooked all the way through except color nahi aaya. And you can see that the melted marination between the skins has just worked beautifully. And a whole lot of juices are dripping from that chicken. This is exactly what you want. Because in these juices, we're going to start roasting the vegetables. Just add the vegetables to the bottom tray, mix it up really nicely. Iske upar dal dijiye the chicken, place the chicken back on top, and with that leftover marination, just brush the chicken very generously. Make sure you get all the corners, and this goes back into the oven at a higher temperature for about 35 to 45 minutes till it gets a beautiful golden color just like this. But for some reason, my vegetables weren't done.
Chicken's done, but somehow the potatoes are not fully cooked. So I'm just going to throw this in the oven for another 10 minutes. Should be done by then.
So the vegetables took another 5 minutes, but just look at that. That chicken looks super juicy, super delicious. Before you serve it, take off the string, little silver foil to just cover the bone over there, a little fresh parsley to just give it a beautiful appearance. Finally, in a plate, we've got the roast veggies, and on top of this, we're going to add the roast chicken. And that, my friends, is the recipe. And if you have any questions, just hit me up. I've shared a complete detailed recipe in the comments for you guys to try, so please go check it out. And if you watched till here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well.
That's the recipe, my friends. पूरा अकेला तो नहीं खाऊंगा. I'll wait for my wife because leg piece तो उनको ही जाएगा. But do try the recipe. पूरी detailed recipe I've shared in the description below, complete steps के साथ. If you have any difficulty while making this, just hit me up on Instagram. Message me. I will definitely reply back and help you make this perfect roast chicken. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon. As always, I'm going to enjoy this a little later with my wife, and I'll see you guys later.
Bye!